Well, Tim, I must say it is an absolute pleasure to see you at the Peoria Sports Complex with the bus. I'm not sure that's ever happened before.
Well, it might have happened many years ago, but certainly not lately. We don't do all 30 teams anymore. It's just a money issue and it's a time issue. So it's not just the Padres that we're kind of not including. But this year, obviously, with everything they did, this was a no-brainer. We were going here early in spring training.
What's the criteria to get a spring training visit from ESPN and Tim Kurkjian on the bus?
Well, I think you either have to be really good, coming off a really good season, or you had to have a really big off season. And Padres won 77 games last year, so if it wasn't for A.J. Preller and his group, we probably wouldn't be doing the Padres. But when you go get Matt Kemp and Justin Upton and the rest, this was an easy one to do.
What's the biggest piece that the Padres added? Is it Kemp and Upton? Is it the combination of the two?
I think it's James Shields at the end, because now I think they have 4 really good Major League starting pitchers, and they might have 5 if Brandon Morrow or Josh Johnson figure this out. But I'm a big believer, from what the Royals all told me, that when James Shields showed up, the whole pitching staff changed. And I'm not sure I'm all that much into this whole leadership thing, but there's something going on there with James Shields about what he brings to a club from that standpoint. Plus, he's a very good pitcher. So I know they had to do something in the corners here in the outfield. They had to add production. But I think if you had to take one guy, I think it would be a pitcher.
Padres look very good on paper. They haven't played a game yet. Who is the team to beat in the NL West right now, in your opinion?
I think the Dodgers are still the team to beat, but, because they have those front 3 guys in the rotation. But the Padres have moved, for me at least, from a largely irrelevant team to a team that's a contender. There's no way around this. They were nearly historically bad offensively last year, and now they've added a right fielder, a center fielder, and a left fielder, and a catcher and a third baseman, all who hit right-handed. They slugged .331 against left-handed pitching last year. That's just horrendous. And they're just a demonstrably better offensive team. And I think in a winnable division, the Dodgers are the best team. I think the Padres right now are right in the middle of it.
You keep saying the Dodgers are the best team. Now, based on what? Based on Kershaw, Greinke, the top 3? That's the reason why.
That's the reason why. Plus, they've been to the postseason, and I really liked what they did late with Jimmy Rollins and with Howie Kendrick. They really upgraded their club at second base and shortstop. Now, we'll see how their outfield defense is. We'll see if Jock Peterson makes their team. We'll see what they do with Andre Ethier. These are questions that spring training will answer. That's why this spring is so interesting. With all the moves that everybody made, there's still a million questions out there that we need to see answered.
The Giants, World Series champs, they had a very quiet offseason. They'll get back Matt Cain. What do you expect from the Giants this season?
Well, I think they're with the Padres in that they're right in the middle of this again. I learned a long time ago to never underestimate the Giants. And this whole odd year, even year, I get it. But I'm not about to say, it's an odd year, they can't win. But they have questions in the rotation with Matt Cain. How healthy is he? Tim Lincecum, he worked in a different way in the offseason. How good's he going to be? Tim Hudson's 39 coming off surgery. Jake Peavy, can he stay healthy the whole year? These are huge questions in the rotation. So I'm not ready to say, the Giants will repeat. They're always good.
You spent some time with A.J. Preller. What did you know about him? What have you learned about him?
Well, I know he's a great basketball player, and he is a nightmare to guard, believe me. I also know he's a brilliant guy. Photographic memory, tireless, absolutely wildly competitive when it comes to whatever he's doing. And he looked at his team and said, we're not good enough. We got to make it better. And then he made it better, and he said, we're still not good enough. We got to do something else. And he kept doing all these things. And, he's making the Justin Upton trade at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of who he is. And I'm a big believer now, when you put these really smart Ivy League guys in charge, and you surround them with other really smart guys and a bunch of baseball guys too to make the decisions, they're going to find a way to fill in all the holes. And I think a lot of holes have been filled here with the Padres.
Last thing, Tim, I know there's nothing you love better than making predictions in February. So if you can, go ahead, look in that camera and give me your predictions. Give me your World Series matchup right now.
All right, I'm going to say that the Nationals are going to play the Orioles in the World Series, and I say that with zero confidence. I actually like the Nationals pick, but the American League is way up in the air. Marty, the number of times I've done this, I always like to write down what I did just to see how wrong I am. But I'm never apologizing for this, because when you miss or when you're not right, it just shows again how unpredictable the game is, and nobody knows the answers to any of these questions, which is what makes the season so fun.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you.